A Southeast Asian sojourn, Xi Jinping touches down in Malaysia. Chinese President Xi Jinping embarked on a significant tour of Southeast Asia in April 2025. This carefully orchestrated diplomatic mission included a crucial stop in Malaysia. Arriving on April 15, Xi's visit marked his first to the country since 2013. The trip came at a pivotal time in global affairs. The U.S. China trade war continued to simmer, casting a long shadow over the region. Xi's presence in Southeast Asia, a region of vital strategic importance, was closely watched by the international community. His visit to Malaysia, in particular, held the promise of deepening ties between the two nations. Xi's arrival was met with considerable fanfare. The Malaysian government, eager to showcase the importance of the relationship, rolled out the red carpet for the Chinese leader. Meetings were scheduled with Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim and other high-ranking officials. The stage was set for discussions on a wide range of issues, from bilateral trade to regional security. Xi's visit was poised to be a defining moment in Sino-Malaysian relations. It also promised to send a clear message to the United States about China's growing influence in the region. Strengthening ties, the objectives behind Xi's visit. Xi Jinping's visit to Malaysia carried a multifaceted agenda. At the forefront was the goal of bolstering bilateral cooperation between the two nations. China and Malaysia have enjoyed a long and fruitful relationship, particularly in the economic realm. Xi aimed to further solidify these ties, seeking to expand trade and investment opportunities. The visit provided a platform for government officials and business leaders from both sides to engage in dialogue and explore new avenues for collaboration. Strengthening economic links was undeniably a top priority. Beyond economics, Xi's visit aimed to deepen political and cultural exchanges. Building on existing partnerships in education, tourism, and people-to-people exchanges was seen as crucial to fostering greater understanding and goodwill between the two nations. Xi's visit underscored China's commitment to a comprehensive and multifaceted relationship with Malaysia. By engaging on multiple fronts, China sought to position itself as a reliable and indispensable partner for Malaysia on the global stage. Trade war tensions, Trump's reaction, and the U.S. perspective. Xi Jinping's Southeast Asia tour, including his stop in Malaysia, did not go unnoticed by the United States. Then former President Donald Trump, known for his confrontational approach to China, reacted with predictable hostility. Trump accused Xi of attempting to screw the U.S. through his diplomatic overtures in the region. He viewed the strengthening of ties between China and Southeast Asian nations as a direct challenge to American interests and influence. The trade war, initiated by Trump himself, continued to be a source of friction. Trump's administration had imposed hefty tariffs on Chinese goods, impacting global trade flows. While Malaysia was not directly targeted in the initial rounds of tariffs, the broader trade dispute created uncertainty and risk for Southeast Asian economies. Trump's rhetoric and policies had already strained U.S. relations with several countries in the region. Xi's visit, seen as an effort to capitalize on this friction, further fueled tensions between Washington and Beijing. The trade war, far from reaching a resolution, continued to cast a long shadow over U.S. China relations and had significant implications for regional dynamics. A historic partnership, Malaysia's evolving relationship with China. Xi Jinping's visit to Malaysia unfolded against the backdrop of a complex and evolving relationship between the two countries. Historically, Malaysia has maintained cordial ties with China. Cultural and economic exchanges have flourished for centuries. However, the relationship has taken on new significance in recent years. China's economic rise has had a profound impact on Southeast Asia. Malaysia, with its strategic location and resource-rich economy, has become an increasingly important partner for Beijing. Under Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim, Malaysia has adopted a pragmatic approach to foreign policy. While maintaining strong ties with traditional allies like the United States, Anwar has shown a willingness to engage more deeply with China. This shift is partly driven by economic pragmatism. China has been Malaysia's largest trading partner since 2009. Bilateral trade reached a staggering $212 billion in 2024. The sheer scale of Chinese investment and trade has made it an indispensable economic partner for Malaysia. Section 5, Beyond Bilateralism, Xi's vision for regional cooperation. Xi Jinping's visit to Malaysia extended beyond the realm of bilateral relations. Xi articulated a broader vision for regional cooperation, emphasizing China's commitment to Southeast Asia as a whole. Central to this vision was the promotion of a free trade agreement between China and ASEAN, the Association of Southeast Asian Nations. Such an agreement, Xi argued, would unlock vast economic potential and foster greater integration within the region. Malaysia, as the current chair of ASEAN, held a particularly important role in advancing these discussions. Xi's vision for regional cooperation extended beyond trade and investment. He emphasized the importance of dialogue and collaboration on issues of common concern, such as security, climate change, and infrastructure development. By positioning China as a constructive partner in addressing these challenges, Xi sought to solidify China's standing as a responsible stakeholder in the region. His overtures were met with cautious optimism by some Southeast Asian nations. However, others remained wary of China's growing assertiveness in the South China Sea. Section 6. Navigating the South China Sea. A point of contention. Despite the positive momentum generated by Xi Jinping's visit, the South China Sea remained a point of contention between China and several Southeast Asian nations, including Malaysia. China's expansive territorial claims in the region, overlapping with the exclusive economic zones of neighboring countries, have been a source of tension for years. While Malaysia has historically adopted a non-confrontational approach to the dispute, Prime Minister Anwar made it clear that Malaysia would not bow to Chinese pressure. Anwar reiterated Malaysia's commitment to upholding international law and freedom of navigation in the South China Sea. He stressed the importance of resolving disputes through dialogue and peaceful means. Xi, in his public statements, sought to downplay tensions. He emphasized China's commitment to resolving disputes amicably and maintaining peace and stability in the region. However, China's continued military buildup and assertive actions in the South China Sea did little to allay the concerns of Malaysia and other claimant states. The South China Sea dispute remained a potential flashpoint in the region, casting a shadow over broader efforts to enhance cooperation. Section 7. The Belt and Road Initiative, a catalyst for economic integration. A key element of China's engagement with Southeast Asia is the Belt and Road Initiative, or BRI. This ambitious infrastructure development program aims to connect China with markets and resources across Asia, Africa, and Europe. Malaysia has emerged as a key partner in the BRI, hosting several flagship projects, including an $11.2 billion railway line. Xi's visit provided an opportunity to highlight the progress of these projects and discuss future collaboration. Proponents of the BRI argue that it will bring much-needed investment and infrastructure development to Southeast Asia, boosting economic growth and connectivity. However, critics have raised concerns about debt sustainability, transparency, and the potential for Chinese economic dominance. Malaysia, while welcoming Chinese investment, has also expressed reservations about certain aspects of the BRI. The government has sought to negotiate more favorable terms and ensure that BRI projects align with Malaysia's own development priorities. Section 8. A New World Order? Geopolitical implications of Xi's visit. Xi Jinping's Southeast Asia tour, culminating in his visit to Malaysia, carried significant geopolitical implications. Analysts interpreted the trip as a clear sign of China's growing assertiveness on the global stage. Xi's message was unambiguous. China is a rising power with global ambitions and a vision for a new world order. This new order, as envisioned by China, challenges the existing U.S.-led system. It emphasizes multipolarity, economic interdependence, and a greater role for developing countries. Xi's visit to Southeast Asia, a region traditionally within the U.S. sphere of influence, was seen as a direct challenge to American hegemony. By strengthening ties with Southeast Asian nations, China aimed to expand its economic and political influence, gradually shifting the balance of power in the region. The U.S., preoccupied with domestic challenges and a waning appetite for global leadership, seemed unable or unwilling to counter China's advances. Xi's visit underscored the shifting geopolitical landscape and the emergence of a more multipolar world. Section 9. Balancing Act, Southeast Asia between China and the U.S. Xi Jinping's visit to Malaysia left Southeast Asian nations grappling with a delicate balancing act. On the one hand, China's economic rise presented undeniable opportunities. Its vast market, investment capital, and infrastructure development prowess were alluring to countries like Malaysia. However, China's growing assertiveness, particularly in the South China Sea, raised concerns about its long-term intentions. Southeast Asian nations found themselves caught between the two superpowers, each vying for influence in the region. Navigating this complex geopolitical landscape required a deft touch. Malaysia and other Southeast Asian nations sought to avoid taking sides in the U.S. China rivalry. Instead, they aimed to leverage their strategic importance to extract maximum benefits from both powers. This balancing act, while challenging, became the defining feature of Southeast Asian foreign policy in an era of great power competition.